Hi, my name is Taylor Masterson, and I decided to choose the scenario including the must be right challenging personality on page 70. Some qualities of a must be right challenging personality are they like to use anger and rage to get their point across. They use belittling, sarcasm, and explicit language. They're very pushy and aggressive, and the Mr. must be right. I'm using Mr. because it sounds right, but it can be Mrs., obviously. But a Mr. must be right seeks adventure, recognition, achievement, and support. The situation overview of the scenario that I read was that the challenging personality stormed into the office and demanded that he sees the athletic director now. The athletic director and the challenging personality, which was a parent, entered the office and they began to discuss the issue. The parent is very angry about his son's lack of playing time and the lack of communication that the coach has with his son. The athletic director then attempts to set up a time to facilitate a meeting between the coach, the parent, who's the challenging personality, and the athlete. Some strategies for an athletic director to deal with a must be right, challenging personality would be to maintain a calm demeanor. You want to balance out their very aggressive demeanor by staying calm the entire time. You want to allow for the challenging personality to blow off some steam. They've probably been dealing with the issue that they're dealing with for a long time now. That's why they have come to this point of being just so aggressive and so over the top with it. So allowing them to just get everything off their chest will be a lot better because then you can just stop them where they ended and work from that entire situation. Do something to get their attention. Sometimes once they start blowing off of their steam and they start ranting about things, they're just going to start going off in different tangents on different things. Well, at that situation, you need to have something that grabs their attention and reels them back into the core issue that they were upset with in the first place and that you guys are going to solve. You need to acknowledge their anger and their need to tell you about their anger. It's okay that they are angry. That's going to happen. That's part of your job is to deal with these angry people and solve them. If you don't allow them to tell you why they're angry, then you're not going to be a supported athletic director. You need to welcome these people, deal with it, solve the issues, and thank them for bringing the issues to your attention. You need to listen attentively and use affirmative behaviors. Really, these people just want to be heard. And they're obviously dealing with an issue that is serious to them and that means a lot to them. So you need to listen and nod your head and look and act like you are listening to them. Talk only from your point of view. You don't want to bring any other parties into this situation at this point. That'll just add more drama. Avoid additional conflict and negative statements. You want to ask detailed questions about potential solutions. As an athletic director, if you include them in the solution, they'll be more amped to do it. Obviously, you want to work towards a solution. That's the whole goal of the meeting. And you want to assume power by stating the next step you will take in a specific time frame. So you are in charge. They might feel as though they are empowered and they're in charge because they are coming to you with the problem and you're kind of waiting for them to see what they have to say and you're kind of on their time. But you need to still assume your power and tell them what the next step is going to be and how soon you're going to get it. Say, the next step is that we're going to have a meeting and it's going to be by next Friday. So then they know what's going to happen and they have a time frame and they're just not waiting around for a solution. Now I'm going to give some examples from the scenario on how to properly respond to them as an athletic director. So the challenging personality, who is a parent, comes in and is talking to the secretary, and he says, I want to see the athletic director now. I don't want any excuses. I mean now. The athletic director needs to hear this, quickly address the situation by moving the challenging personality to a quiet location and having them sit down. A possible response that the athletic director could say to him after they're sitting down is, "You indicated that you wanted some information." This is just an opening for them to start ranting about their issue and just blowing off steam, which is one of the strategies that we talked about. The next example I have is when the challenging personality comes in and says, "Well, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see that. Yeah, I am furious. Anybody would be if they got treated like their kid got treated." So at this point, the challenging personality is demonstrating a lot of aggression and sarcasm. So at this point, as an athletic director, you need to acknowledge that you understand the emotions that they're going through and then allow them to discuss it further. So a possible response would be, "Your irritation is very apparent. Can we discuss the causes of your frustration?" This just allows them that you know how they feel, you understand, and you would like them to further explain why they feel that way. Another example would be when the challenging personality says, "Yeah, Bobby hasn't missed a practice. He does his schoolwork. He never cuts class. He's been on the squad for 4 seasons and he never gets to play." In this situation, they are finally explaining the true core reason of why they're upset. So you need to be listening and act interested and then paraphrase exactly what happened so they know that you understand. So a possible response would be, "Let me be sure of what I've heard you say. Bobby is a good student, a good squad member, but doesn't get to play as much as he and you would like." So this just shows that you're actually listening and you understand the true core issue of what's happening. My final example is when the challenging personality says, "That coach doesn't talk to anybody." So now throughout this meeting, we've dealt with their aggression, we've come up with the main issue, and we've come up the reason why the main issue is the main issue. So now it's our turn to work towards a possible solution and state our next step of action. A possible response would be, "What if I asked the coach to meet with you, Bobby, and myself? I really would be happy to facilitate the communications you said is missing." We now have a next step in action, and we are going to work on fixing the reason why we're having the issue in the first place, which is the missing communication. As an athletic director, we're going to deal with a lot of people that aren't always happy with us or the program or the coaches or things involved in the athletic department. So we need to be able to turn a negative situation into a positive situation. And throughout this presentation, I've taught you how to deal with the must be right challenging personalities. And if you use the proper strategies and you stay confident with yourself, we're all going to be great athletic directors one day.